And welcome to Chicago, the home of NewsNation. Right now, you are looking live inside the United Center, where the Democratic National Convention is kicking off today. Vice President Kamala Harris will soon accept the Democratic nomination for president. Tonight, President Joe Biden will give a key speech featuring accomplishments, Democrats' priorities, and handing the party over to Harris, while capping off his decades-long political career. All eyes will be on Biden, on Harris, and Governor Tim Walz. Tens of thousands of protesters are all ready to shake the DNC. Protesters rallied on Sunday in the heart of Chicago, just a few miles away from NewsNation's headquarters. Most of them are demanding Democrats end their support for Israel and the war in Gaza. Thousands of police are standing by to keep protests peaceful and away from the DNC. Nick Smith is keeping an eye on those planned protests, but we start with our very own Joe Khalil, who is live inside the DNC. Good morning, Joe. What do we know about the president's speech tonight?
Good morning, Hannah. Well, look, it's obviously going to be a big moment. In fact, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that when you look back historically on this week, it may be President Biden's speech tonight that these delegates are looking forward to that is the most historic moment. You have a sitting commander-in-chief that was pressured out of being the party's nominee, now addressing the convention and some of the very Democratic officials that put that pressure on him. Kamala Harris will be here as he addresses them as well. So it will be very interesting to hear how he tries to unite the party, whether he articulates his decision ultimately, again, under pressure to step down. And it's got a lot of people anticipating it may be the biggest ovation of the week as well. When President Biden takes the podium tonight, he won't be doing so as the Democratic Party's nominee, which means his role will feel different. As of late, President Biden has been more of an attack dog.
The guy we're running against, what's his name? Donald Dump or Donald whatever. They want to get rid of this, what we passed.
He's also expected to tout some of his major accomplishments: the infrastructure bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, and a reduction in the cost of key prescription drugs for those on Medicare, while at the same time reminding delegates and the nation that his accomplishments...
She's going to make one hell of a president.
...are also Kamala Harris's accomplishments. Expect President Biden to deliver some red meat to the Democratic base and continue to make the case for democracy, that a second Trump presidency would put Democratic norms at risk, a message Vice President Harris has not leaned into on the campaign trail.
The guy that Kamala's running against this time and I ran against last time, he has no sense of who we are. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. What holds this country together with our great diversity are the institutions. The institutions. That's our democracy.
The elephant in the room, many of the very Democratic leaders who lobbied publicly and behind closed doors, pressuring Biden to step down from the campaign, will be in the audience as the president speaks. The commander-in-chief has vowed to hit the trail for Harris, but it may be in a limited role strategically in places where he may resonate. So we will hear a lot about the accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration. For her part, Vice President Harris is trying to toe this very fine line between welcoming and taking those accomplishments while at the same time trying to distance herself and roll out her own set of new policies moving forward. So we'll see how that develops throughout the week. By the way, Hannah, we should also just mention President Biden actually doing the speech for his own vice president is only the third time in history that that is happening. And the delegation here is going to see that tonight.
I've said it before, Joe. We have a front row to history this week. Joe Khalil at the United Center in Chicago, just a short distance away from here. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.